Hello and welcome back to Saving Scunthorpe. We are on the final day. We have absolutely smashed surviving in the Premier League. At one point, we weren't far off actually getting a European place. That's not going to be happening. However, we could still technically finish in the top half. If you're happy to hear that we have survived, please do leave a like down below. Comment what you think we should be looking to achieve next season. Subscribe if you're enjoying the content. And let me know what you think we need to do during the transfer window. We will have some news on that shortly. Since you were last with us, which was back when we played Benfica, we just played out the rest of the season and we had some good results, we had some mixed results, but overall we've been pretty happy. We drew with West Ham just after the last episode 0-0. Then we lost 2-0 to Tottenham, but they're pretty good on this save, which is a bit weird because Tottenham aren't usually good. We then beat Fulham 3-2. We thrashed Chelsea 4-2. And I know it's 4-2 and I've called it a thrashing. They were lucky to get 2 goals. It was dominant. However, we then lost 2-0 to Manchester City. 1-1 against Everton. A 1-0 win against Wolves. A 1-1 draw with Southampton. That was very disappointing if I'm being honest. Particularly because they were down to 10 men early on. We then had a 1-0 loss to Newcastle. A 1-1 draw with Norwich. A 1-1 draw with Bournemouth, before most recently a 2-0 loss to Aston Villa. We come into the final day, Brighton away from home, and if we have a look at the league table, we currently find ourselves in 13th place. So as I say, a win would put us on 50 points and feasibly could put us in the top half. Above us, Chelsea play Wolves, so they could be taking points off it. Well, they'll be taking points off each other. We just don't know which way around. Bournemouth play Aston Villa, so you'd expect Villa to beat them, really. Who else have we got in that bunch? Brentford play Norwich, who are just below us and outside of that. Well, we're outside of their grasp, I should say. Fulham, who are away to Leicester, who have finished bottom of the league, so they're going to be looking to pick up a win. Also, little note, Nottingham Forest and Southampton going into the final day with the relegation battle still ongoing. Nottingham Forest away to Newcastle, while Southampton are away to Arsenal, who have nothing to play for, to be fair, because Manchester City are an absolute joke. They've scored 134 goals this season. They scored 10 just against Chelsea. They've scored 10 or more against 4 teams in the league. That is absolutely ridiculous. They've still got to play Liverpool away, so there's every chance they add a few more to that tally. And also, how are you meant to complete with this absolute mess? Marvin Beckman has scored 30 goals in 30 games, and he's the second highest goal scorer by 16 goals. Erling Haaland with 46 goals in 32 games. That is absolutely ridiculous. He's 33 now, so if he can hurry up and retire and bugger off away from Manchester City, I think we'll all be a lot happier. Like, it's an unbelievable record. He should have scored, XG-wise, 46.5 goals. He scored 60 in all competitions. Like, how do you compete with that? And how do you compete with 134 goals in a season? You just can't. If we're winning the Premier League before FM25, we need a big drop off from Manchester City, and I need to get my arse in gear to get us to that level as well, in fairness. But let's go and jump into our game against Brighton, and then after that I'll tell you a little bit about what we've been up to in the transfers prior to the season even ending. Our lineup today, we've got Izaguirre in goal, a back four of Julian, Kumas, Nallo and Smith. Edwards as the holding midfielder with Umanite in the middle, Dujardin on the right, Ofori in the number 10, Chambers on the left and Tezgel up front. We've got a few people who are unhappy. Hatton is transfer listed. Brinkhurst we're going to be getting rid of because he's unhappy. And there's a few people that we're going to let their contracts expire. Chambers is probably going to be gone. Nallo currently unhappy, so not sure what we're going to do about him. I don't really want to lose Nallo, but we'll have to see what happens. Izaguirre probably getting a new contract in summer. We did set him a target of 8 clean sheets. I'm not sure what he's on. He's had 6, so he is failing the target even with a clean sheet today. But we're probably going to give him a contract anyway because he is doing a very good job for us. A very early highlight for Brighton here. Babadi with the free kick from the left-hand side. Drills it across to Perez. They lead 1-0 already. That is not the start that we wanted. Free kick from the same position. Finds Perez again. This time it's headed over the bar. But if we can learn to defend that back post, it'd be lovely. Free kick for Brighton from deep to here. It's towards Babadi, but it's cleared away. And then Chambers loses it to him very cheaply. Wins the ball back though, just as cheaply, and then just gives it away. Can't argue with that, Chambers. Baliba with the ball now, plays it back to Perez and then across to Osterwald in midfield. Brighton very much trying to control this portion of the game, and they've been doing that for the majority of this first half. Ball in towards Maritti. Julian can only head it back to Nunes. It's across the box. Ibanez makes it 2-0. And Brighton look like they're going to be winning on the final day. Garrow with a throw-in gets it to Babadi, and then back to Garrow. Chance to get into the box. Umanai pumps it away, but it's coming straight back at us. Baliba to Maritti. Babadi. That's 3-0. Not the end of the season that we would have liked. Julian throws the ball short to Dujardin, and he gets the ball into the box, headed away by Garrow, but only as far as Chambers, who cuts back, plays it to Tezgul. How's he missed that? He's got to hit the target at the very least. We're 3-0 down at half time, and that was our best. That was our only shot of the game so far. Absolutely awful. We'll try dropping it into this more solid formation, and we'll send Russell Denny on in what might be his final appearance for us. And hopefully we can see a little bit better in the second half, because if that's what we're going out on, I'm a little bit concerned for next year. Corner kick from the right hand side here. Russell Denny is going to be sending it in. Sends it towards the far post. Julian was there, but it's headed up in the air. Kumas brings it down. Knocks it back to Afori. And the keeper denies him. Brilliant chance for him there. Russell Denny plays it back to Edwards and then to Julian. Please don't just go backwards and end the highlight. Julian brings it out to Nallo. Back to Kumas in space on the left. Plays it towards Chambers, but it's cleared away. Only back to Kumas though, who finds Edwards on the edge. Out to Russell Denny on the right. Back to Edwards and then Russell Denny again, who shoots, curls one wonderfully into the top corner for his second goal of the season. It is still 3-1, but we've got one back. And let's go ahead and make a couple of changes. Lamptey coming on for Julian. Again, probably Lamptey's final game for us. Smith can come off for Aradage, and O'Connor, he's not O'Connor, he's just Connor, can come on for Tezgul up front. George has got the ball down the right hand side for Brighton here, and chance for a cross here perhaps. Drills it across. Ibanez with the chance, but he sends it wide of the post. Baliba plays the ball back to Burgess and then forward to Babadi, and it's back to Burgess again. Edwards has got a foot in there to take the ball, and Burgess has just snapped him. He's gone. So hopefully we can mount a little bit of a late comeback perhaps. Let's up our passing tempo, because now we should be able to try and make them run their legs off. However, we do lose 3-1 on the final day. It was a better second half, although it couldn't have been much worse if we're being completely honest. But either way, we can't be too unhappy, because we had a good first season in the Premier League. We've ended up 14th, which honestly feels a bit harsh, because we so easily could have been in the top half. If we'd won today, that immediately puts us top half based on how the other results went. And for the record, Manchester City stuck on 134 goals. So we do receive 13.5 million for our 14th place finish in the league. Out of interest, what could we have received if we'd finished any higher? It's difficult to know, but 7th would have been 27 million. I think we've definitely lost out a bit of money due to that, but hopefully it won't matter too much for us. What we did want to look at is some of our transfer plans so far for the summer. So So we don't have any outgoings, but the incomings is where we are focused on today. We have signed some players from the Next Gen 50. We start off with Jose Ramon Pelayo coming in for 7.25 million. We have splashed out a little bit on these guys, but in theory, they're all meant to be some of the next, well, theoretically, the next 50 best players in the world. So we've brought him in as a holding midfielder. His determination is absolutely fantastic, and hopefully he will come in and do a job for us when we are losing people like Russell Denny. Next we've got Carlos Flores, who can play in centre mid or attacking midfield or out on the right hand side. Nice bit of flair. He's probably going to be more towards the number 10 and right wing. Very good technique. He's decently pacey. Looks a pretty good choice for us. Again, 18-year-old Mexican. Hopefully he can come in and do a good job for us. Dave Suarez is next. Another person who can play on the wing, or he can also play on the left wing. And again, looks very good. Hopefully he's going to come in and do a good job for us. 2.5 star at the moment, but as with anyone on that list, he is rising to be potentially 5 stars. Gonzalo Correa coming in from Uruguay. He can play... I was going to say he can play left back as well as left wing. He's got 1 tackling. He's not playing left back, I'll tell you that much. He looks pretty good in some aspects, but also some of his aspects are absolutely awful. Definitely going to be someone that plays left wing, not like left back or anything like that. And hopefully he can develop into being a very good player in that position. And then finally we've got a striker in Bartosz Orsuluk, who's coming in from... Where's he from? He's from Lech Poznan, a striker who's got 17 finishing, 16 first touch, 14 off the ball. The only thing that he's lacking is a bit of strength, but his stats other than that look absolutely phenomenal. He scored 15 goals in 36 games for Poznan, and what we need is a goal scorer, and he definitely seems like the type of player, if we can get him chances, he will score goals. So in total, we've got £24 million being spent there. It was the remainder of our budget from this season. And fingers crossed, now that we've secured our safety in the Premier League, we will get a nice boost to our transfer budget and wage budget following this. And of course, there will be outgoings as well. If we have a quick look at people who are expiring this year, there is only 3 people in Lamptey, Flynn and Tezgel. I kind of wanted to keep Tezgel because I just like him, to be honest. He's done a pretty solid job for us. He's never been massive. He's never been a massive goal scorer, but I just like him a bit, and I think having him as an option off the bench would be quite nice for us next year. And then moving into some of the other players, we're just going to be looking to sell quite a few of these because we're not going to be able to register all of them. We needed a big squad this year because we were in Europe. But I'm hoping players like Milton and Leverstad can really start to step up. If we look at some of our older players, Kajust, he's going to be on the way out. Campbell will probably try and sell. Kumas can go. Foster can go. Lamptey, we're letting go. O'Brien can go. Flynn's going. I'm happy for Edwards to go. Pretty much anyone over 30, I'm happy for them to go. I'd probably like to keep Edwards because he's a pretty good option at the moment. But if somebody comes in for the right money, then off he can go. And quite honestly, if somebody comes in for the right amount, pretty much anyone I will let go. Some more reluctantly than others. So Bjarnason, I would definitely like to keep. But we'll see what the summer brings. Let me know down below anyone on that list that you think we should just be getting rid of. And let me know what positions you think we need to strengthen. And also, most importantly, at the moment, let me know what you think we need to do tactics wise, because these tactics have been doing pretty good for us. You can see we've interchanged between a few of them at different times of the season, but I'm not entirely sure where our best tactic lies. We might try just a 4-3-3. I know it's a little bit boring, but I think it might be time to try something like that next year. We'll probably experiment with it in pre-season. Let me know what you think we should be doing. Subscribe if you're enjoying the content, and thank you very much for watching.